Okay, so you're ready to tame an Argy. Well, what do you need? Well, first thing you're going to need is some way to knock it out, right? Either crossbow or a long neck. Crossbow for trank arrows, long neck for trank darts. And if you're pretty early on in the game, this is going to be your first Argy. Arrows are probably the best way to go. It only takes around 26 to 33 arrows for a level 150 Argy, or about 18 to 20 trank darts for the long neck. The next thing you're going to need is a way to trap the Argy, because the last thing you want is just that guy to fly off into the skybox trying to get away from you while you try and knock it out, and then the Argy's just gone. So there are lots of different types of Argy traps out there. We're going to stick with the simplest one for this video. It's an easy one to make, and doesn't weigh too much. You will just need 3 to 4 dino gates and 2 reinforced dino gate doors. And of course you need 2 to 4 spiked walls as well. And we'll go ahead and show you how to set them up. So you want to place your first one. Once you found the Argy, you're near an Argy that you want, because you'll have to bait it back. You need to place the gate. Now you can either use, as you notice in ASA, now we have this weird snapping, and you can't place them along. How to get rid of that is just, if you're using a controller, hold RB down. If you're using the mouse, hold Q down. Alright, and that'll give us a free snap. And now you'll see you want to place them far enough apart that you can fit between them a little bit. The Argy can't. Right, this way you can still shoot the Argy, and it's trapped. Now, if you want to use a smaller trap or a different type of Argy trap, go for it. You can get away with just 3 of these gates, like this, right? And we can kind of walk through here, but the Argy shouldn't be able to get through there. We can't actually walk through that one. That's fine, as long as we have a way out. Okay, and we can still shoot through this gap. I like to do 4, just so that I have more room. You can do 3 if you want. And now we can bait the Argy into this on foot, or we can use a pterodon to bait the Argy. Alright, you want to place the dino gates on the very last ones. You just need 2 this way, right? Alright, so the idea is you're going to get the Argy chase you in here. Once the Argy's in here with you, you'll go through, sprint around, close the gate, and then jump back over here like this to keep the Argy from flying out. Right. If you're on a pterodon, you can kind of barrel roll through the top and do the same thing, drop around and close the gate. You definitely want it open toward the outside. You don't want to be opening it toward the inside like that, or the Argy can get pushed out. Where do you find Argies? Well, they're all around the mountainous areas, right? And then there's Carnal Island. Carnal Island has a ton of Argies, but also other bad things, which is why we're using the dino gate trap. This will protect the Argy while it's sleeping better. Especially once it's out, we can just drop 2 white fences on each side of the gates. And so 1 on each side. Sorry, not 2. So 2 total, 1 on each side. And that will protect the Argy from getting bitten. If you have them in a small trap, some other weird trap, you'll still have to put dino gates or something all around it anyway. Keep it from getting eaten. We'll go over what you need to tame the Argy while we're shooting the Argy. So now we got to find one. You can use a spyglass to spot their levels. If you've been following along the other quick taming guides we've done, you'll know that you'll have a pterodon by now and possibly a raft. You can just raft out to this island. Or if your pterodon can carry enough weight, you can bring these supplies out with you. But you're going to need narco berries or narcotics to keep the Argy asleep. So it's probably best to raft out here and just use your raft as, storage for your narco berries. You're really not going to want to be running around on this island with your parasaurs, rexes, carnos, and pretty much all kinds of dangerous things, as this is the Carno Island. But where are we? If you don't know where Carno Island is, Carno Island is a little island kind of like Herbivore Island, and it's on the east side of the map, but it's on the north side instead of the south side. So we are at 12.3 and 91.1. You can see the island's kind of a bigger area than that. So it'll get you up here to get you to the island. Alright, so we found an Argy, and for this one we're going to be taming a level 150. And they do a lot of damage, so be careful about that. It might be better to do this on a pterodon, but I would rather not lose my new pterodon that I would have just started with, so I would do it on foot. Because I can drop sleeping bags, beds, whatever, and respawn. So now we got the Argy in the trap. Run around, close the gate. Oh no, we got out. That can happen. Happens, just do it again. Open the door. Let the Argy in. Alright, come over here, Argy. You don't want to be shooting it with tranks unless it's unaggroed and trying to get away. You need to re-aggro it from a distance. You don't want to be hitting it at all, because it can decide to run away if it starts torping up too much. Okay, so we'll get it back in the cage. Alright, and then we'll run around, close the door. I got out again. Alright, well, scan happened. It's kind of annoying. Come on. If you have sleeping bags down, you can just close the door and stay in here with it. Risk dying. Over here, Argy, over here. Go in a straight line. Follow me in. Okay, we'll close the door. You in here with me. There we go. And now I'll walk out. Alright, now we got the Argy trap. Now to knock it out. So while we're knocking it out, headshots do slightly more torpor, but and you can save some arrows, but you may kill the Argy depending on its health row. So it might be better to not shoot it in the head. There used to be a trick where right before it got knocked out, if you brought a body in and let it eat the body, and it started healing, it had the heal symbol like over its head while you were doing this, it would lose about half of its food. It would drop. But yeah, that's no longer a thing. They fixed that, so we'll have to do the full time on the tame of the Argy. When you're first starting out, you're probably only going to have like raw meat to tame the Argy with, right? Or maybe even prime. You can find some carnals and stuff around on this island, and some other Argies to kill and eat and get prime meat from them, right? But now we got them out, we would need to. We're going to need to wait until enough time has passed to feed the Argy. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get our spiked walls down so nothing can bite the Argy. Alright, so there we go. Nothing can get their head in there and bite. That'll be fine. Nothing should be able to bite them through the door. And then we'll get our other spiked wall on the other side down. And now Argy should be safe from Rexes and everything else that spawns out here. Alright, and then when we need to access the Argy, we'll just look around, make sure there's nothing that can attack. And then we'll open the door. Put what we need on it, or go inside and close the door. Then put what we need on it, and then leave and close the door again. If you've found a mutton on the island, it's going to take 23 mutton and 51 minutes to tame it. And so, since there's spoil timers and everything else, make sure you have more than 23 raw mutton on it, or at least some raw meat, just in case, to finish it off. And then if you're going for prime meat, it's going to take 29 prime meat, and prime meat spoils really fast, so watch for that. So you don't even want to start gathering it until after it's about to, till this timer has gone down enough. Right, its food should drop low enough in an hour and 5 minutes to need the prime meat, so it should take 29 prime meat. Now, if you're taming an Argy at a later time and you have kibble, it requires superior kibble. It takes 42 minutes and needs 11. And again, like all the other taming videos, do not put the food onto the dinosaur, so on the Argy, until it has, until its food timer has gotten low enough that it can eat the food. That way, if it does get hit, and once it wakes up, you can knock it out again, and its food will still be drained, and then you can tame it. So if you're using regular meat, it's going to require 85 regular meat. Of course, put extra just to be safe. And it's going to take 3 hours and 11 minutes. If that is the case, you're going to need to keep the Argy asleep. It takes an hour and 36 minutes for the Argy's torpor to drain. At an hour and 36 minutes, once the Argy's torpor is about drained, so maybe an hour and 30 minutes to be safe, right? Go ahead and torpor it back up by giving it narcoberries or narcotics. It takes 150 narcotics to refill the Argy's torpor to 100%, and it takes 796 narcoberries to refill the Argy's torpor. If you use narcotics, its torpor will hit 100% after only about 19 minutes. If you gave it narcoberries, its torpor will hit 100% at 39 minutes, and then the timer restarts for the hour and 36 minutes before it drains again. So if you use narcoberries, you should only have to do that one time. So you shouldn't need more than 796 berries, but always bring extra to be careful. And keep an eye on the torpor. Right, and that's pretty much all there is to tame an Argy Davis. And now that you have an Argy, you can go around and you can pick up your Ankies, your Doeds, or whatever, and carry them back, carry them around, farm. Now you can farm like mad, super easy. One of the most useful dinos in the game, at least the early game. Eventually, you'll probably replace the Argy with a Quetzal, but the Argy is still pretty decent at picking in combat. So if you go to pick someone up with a couple, and they have a couple of sets of armor, and you have a couple of sets of armor, and you're on a Pterodon, you're just going to get stuck overweight, right? So Argy is great for picking. They are not as fast as Pterodon, so you definitely need to pump some hit points in if you use them as a picking dino. We can go in more into strategies and how useful Argies are in a future video if you'd like. This is just a quick taming guide. So if you enjoyed the guide, smash that like button. Have an awesome day.